What if I told you the heavens are not as stable as they once seemed? Up above our heads, where silence reigns and stars whisper, something is cracking. Not just in steel and bolts aboard the International Space Station, but in the very fabric of our understanding. A leak, growing. A mystery, deepening. And still, we're told to look away. Meanwhile, far beyond that decaying station, the James Webb Space Telescope, our eye in the cosmos, has just glimpsed a frozen world unlike any we've ever known. A planet, veiled in cold shadows, glowing faintly in the light of its distant sun. Its orbit is twisted, unnatural, almost as if nudged by a force unseen. Scientists say it defies expectations. But what if it's a message? And just when you thought we were stepping back from the edge, a bold new company, Stoke Space, is racing toward the stars with a fire-breathing engine named after our galactic neighbor. They're promising to make space reusable, affordable, eternal. But is humanity ready to rise again, while the sky itself is failing? My friend, this episode is not just about technology. It's about revelation. It's about what God might be trying to show us, through cracks in metal, through veils of ice, through the rush of flame. Could these signs be more than just scientific? Could they be divine warnings? Whispers from the Creator who formed the heavens. Welcome to Mysterious Universe, where we explore the edge of science and the soul. If you believe there's more out there than what NASA says, subscribe now. Like this video if you're ready to dive deep. And tell us in the comments, do you believe God speaks through the cosmos? Now take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear might change how you see the sky forever. Far above Earth, the International Space Station drifts like a fragile arc in the void. Once a symbol of global unity and ambition, today it's quietly bleeding air into the darkness, and hardly anyone is talking about it. In June 2025, NASA confirmed a new air leak in the Russian segment of the station. It wasn't the first. In fact, the ISS has been leaking for over 5 years. We were told the problem was fixed, but it wasn't. Now the situation is getting worse. Internal reports show the station is losing up to 3.7 pounds of atmosphere a day. That may not sound like much until you realize there's no replacement for that air. Every drop counts when you're 250 miles above Earth in a pressurized shell. The troubling part? NASA is treating this as a 5x5 threat, the highest risk level possible. High likelihood, severe consequence. But to the public, they're barely whispering a word. The Russians, who own the affected module, insist everything's fine. They say the cracks in the PRK module are sealed. Yet independent analysts like Eric Berger report that the overall air pressure keeps falling. So where is it going? It's a question with no public answer. But those who watch closely are worried. Because if this leak isn't stopped, and the metal begins to fatigue from repeated pressure changes, it could fail suddenly, without warning. Just like bending a wire coat hanger until it snaps. Now, here's the part no one wants to say out loud. The ISS is aging out. Built to last until 2020, it's been stretched past its lifespan by 5 years already. Some of its modules date back to the Cold War. And maybe, just maybe, this is God's way of reminding us. Even our greatest creations, our floating castles, are temporary. No steel can escape rust. No orbit lasts forever. Perhaps this slow leak is not just a failure in engineering, but a sign. Could it be that heaven is whispering through the silence of space? Leave us a comment. Do you think the ISS should be retired before it's too late? While one part of our sky decays, another reveals a secret that leaves scientists speechless. With its golden eye, the James Webb Space Telescope recently spotted a distant, icy world named 14 Hercules C. It's faint. It's cold. just 3 degrees C on average, and it orbits a star 60 light-years away. Normally, such a planet would be invisible, drowned out by the brightness of its star. But something strange happened. The planet tilted just right, angled high above its neighbor, and for a brief moment, James Webb caught a glimpse of it. What it saw wasn't just a distant rock. It was a frozen enigma. Cherti. Hercules C moves in an X-shaped orbit, crossing high above its star at an angle no planet in our solar system comes close to. Astronomers were stunned. Planets don't usually orbit like this, unless something disturbed them. Dr. William Ballmer, leading the project, believes another planet was once there. A third body, now vanished, may have violently altered their paths. A cosmic collision? An ancient ejection? It's like a celestial tug-of-war, frozen in time. But here's the deeper mystery. Webb detected carbon dioxide in its atmosphere. Not simple elements, complex molecules. These are signs of chemistry, movement, reaction. Life? Not yet. But the building blocks? Perhaps. And I ask you, how can something so cold still carry the breath of carbon? Is it not written in the Psalms that the heavens declare the glory of God? This world, quiet, invisible, and ancient, may be part of a divine message. Not of aliens, but of origin, of God's fingerprint on the universe. A reminder that creation is vast, unknowable, and humming with design. In this icy whisper, perhaps we hear not chaos, but cosmic intention. Let us know in the comments, do you believe this frozen planet was placed to be discovered exactly when we were ready to see it? Like this video if you're in awe of what James Webb is revealing. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We bring you the stories NASA won't. By now, the world knows that something isn't right aboard the International Space Station. But what makes this crisis so chilling is not just the leak. It's the silence. NASA and Roscosmos both acknowledge a problem. But beyond vague technical phrases and cautious updates, they're saying little else. The truth seems buried under layers of politics and uncertainty. And yet the air keeps escaping, slowly, invisibly, like breath being drawn from a sleeping body. Independent journalist Eric Berger has reported that the likely culprit is a failure in the seals of the PRK hatch, the same hatch the Russians claim to have fixed. In this theory, air from the main station feeds the PRK through a faulty seal, making it seem stable, when really, it's just hiding the wound. It's a deadly illusion. Think about it. A hatch that leaks, a door that won't seal. In the cold vacuum of space, that's the equivalent of a slow-motion execution. No alarms, no fire, just the slow fade of pressure, breath, and life. NASA calls this risk high cycle fatigue. The term sounds sterile, but it's not. It means the metal has been stressed so many times that it's starting to crack, and when it fails instantly. No warning, no countdown. This is not science fiction. This is now. And maybe it's also something else. Could this be the Lord's warning to us? That our pride, our belief that we can build eternal castles among the stars, is misplaced? The Tower of Babel once reached for heaven. So does the ISS. Both were testaments to human greatness. Both faced divine interruption. Perhaps God allows these leaks, these tremors, not to punish, but to awaken. We were never meant to drift forever. We were meant to return to Him. What do you think? Is this a technological flaw or something greater? Drop a comment below. Make sure to hit like if you believe science and faith are both tools of understanding. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll keep asking the questions others won't. As one era of spaceflight sputters, another prepares to rise from the ground. Enter Stoke Space, a small but fiercely ambitious company aiming to do what only giants have dared. Build a fully reusable space launch system. Their goal? Create a rocket that flies, lands, and flies again, just like SpaceX's Starship, but simpler, leaner, smarter. Their new rocket, NOV, is almost ready. Its second stage is powered by an engine called Andromeda, named after our neighboring galaxy. But this is no ordinary engine. It has 24 combustion chambers arranged in a circle, each one firing independently. It's like an orchestra of fire, precision-tuned to control ascent and descent. And here's where things get incredible. Instead of relying on complex landing towers like SpaceX, Stoke is designing a heat shield so advanced that it cools itself. How? They've routed the rocket's freezing liquid hydrogen through the shield itself. The extreme cold keeps the metal stable, preventing it from melting as it plummets back to Earth. This is more than innovation. It's revolution. Just 2 years ago, Stoke launched this idea from a shipping container. Now, they're preparing for 2 full launches this year. If successful, they could become the fastest-moving space startup in history. Their dream? Make space accessible to more than just nations and billionaires. And in a world where we're losing confidence in old systems, ISS leaks, budget cuts, government delays, maybe that's exactly what we need. A new ark. One built not just with steel and circuits, but with purpose. Because here's the truth. Space isn't just the next frontier. It's the mirror to our soul. Every rocket, every planet, every breakthrough reflects who we are and who we want to be. Could it be that God stirs this hunger in our hearts, this longing to reach beyond the stars? And maybe, just maybe, He's showing us. The journey isn't about escape. It's about return. Do you believe the future of space should be led by visionaries, not institutions? Leave a comment and share this video if you're excited about what Stoke is building. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next chapter is already on the launch pad. While the world below wrestles with leaky modules and political delays, the James Webb Space Telescope peers outward, deep into creation's silent cathedral. And what it found is stunning. A distant planet, silent, cold, orbiting a star 60 light-years away in the Hercules constellation. Scientists have named it 14 Hercules c, but what matters is what it reveals. With an average temperature of 3 degrees, this planet shouldn't even be visible. It's dim, it hides, and yet James Webb captured it. How? Its tilted orbit, unlike anything in our solar system, caused the planet to briefly rise above the glare of its star. For a moment, it was visible, a faint orange dot, glowing, alone. It's not just a marvel of astronomy, it's a parable. How many people do we overlook, simply because they don't shine like the rest? How many truths remain hidden until the angle shifts and the light moves just enough? God doesn't miss a single one. Just as He sees every sparrow, He sees every distant world and every soul drifting quietly in the dark. Scientists studying this planet discovered something else: carbon dioxide in its atmosphere. It's the first time we've photographed this molecule on a world so distant, and it tells us that storms rage on this frozen orb. Gases churn violently from the planet's depths to its skies. Stillness on the outside, chaos within. Sound familiar? Many of us walk like that, quiet on the surface, but inside a storm. Yet James Webb saw through the silence, and maybe, just maybe, so does God. What do you think this planet means for us? Could this be God's way of reminding us how small we are, and yet how loved? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you believe science should lead to awe, not just answers. Subscribe, so you don't miss the mysteries still unfolding. Across the heavens, creation whispers, from cracked modules to churning planets to fiery engines in a field somewhere in Texas. It's all connected. And if we're willing to listen, we might just hear the voice of the Creator. The International Space Station is leaking, and we don't know why. Is it faulty metal? Politics? Pride? Or is it a warning that even our most permanent monuments can't last? Meanwhile, James Webb reveals cold, lonely worlds that defy our expectations. Beautiful, unreachable, complex. Are they clues to the vastness of God's power? Are they signs that we are not the center of everything? Then there's Stoke Space, a small group of dreamers building an engine named Andromeda, launching something new into the void, a rebirth, a resurrection of ambition. What does it all mean? Scripture says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands." Psalm 19, this isn't just science, this is sacred. When we look into the stars, we're not just measuring distance or mass, we're glimpsing a divine canvas. Galaxies swirl like brushstrokes. Planetary systems move like clockwork. Even in chaos, there is order. Even in silence, a voice. And maybe God is speaking now. Maybe He's telling us to humble ourselves, to stop racing upward without looking inward, to remember that no matter how far we fly, we still need grace to land safely. So as the ISS groans under age and strain, as James Webb stares into eternity, and as Stoke Space readies its first flight, we are left with a question. Will we listen? Friends, if this message stirred something in you, let us know. This channel isn't just about space. It's about meaning and faith and the courage to ask, what if? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't be silent. Like this video if you believe the stars were made for more than science. And please subscribe. We're building a community of seekers and believers. Together, we'll chase every light in the sky until we find the one who lit them. So here we are, at the edge of wonder. A space station aging in silence, leaking its breath into the void. A planet too cold to glow, caught in a perfect moment by a telescope reaching beyond time. A small, determined team shaping fire into flight with an engine named after our closest galactic neighbor. What connects these pieces? Not wires or gravity, but something deeper. A thread of awe, of mystery, of divinity. Scripture says, He counts the number of the stars. He gives names to all of them. Psalm 147:4. If He knows them, He knows us. Maybe the ISS isn't just a failing station. Maybe it's a metaphor for the fragile state of humanity. Cracked, patched up, still losing air. Maybe Hercules C isn't just a cold planet, but a reminder that even in silence, something holy is happening. And maybe Stoke Space, with its blazing ambition, reminds us that resurrection doesn't just happen in tombs. It happens in launch pads, in dreams, in the quiet belief that we can begin again. But here's the deeper truth. None of this is by accident. The Creator who sculpted the stars is still writing the story, and in moments like this, He's whispering to those who dare to look up. Are we too busy to notice, too distracted to feel the weight of what's unfolding above us? What if every solar flare, every leak, every light year crossed is not just news, but a divine nudge, a call to slow down, to wonder, to believe again? So friend, as we wrap up today's journey, don't just move on to the next video. Pause. Step outside tonight. Look up. Breathe. And remember, you were made for more than this world. If this message reached your heart, comment below. What did you feel? What spoke to you most? Like this video if you believe the heavens still declare the glory of God. And subscribe, because we're not done exploring. The sky is not the limit, it's the invitation. This is Mysterious Universe, where science meets the soul. And until next time, may you never stop asking, never stop seeking, and never stop looking up.